Okay, I think we can slowly start. Some of our colleagues as well will be joining, but they're going to be a little bit late. And we at GainForest were also happy to share some of our updates as well. And I'm very excited to listen to both Diogo and also Swift Evo today, especially because we're also working on our second version of Ecocert. So we hope to learn from each other. I think the group today is a bit small because I understand it's nearing the holidays, so everyone's already like in the rest mode already. But no worries, today's session will be recorded, so I will also share with the other people. Let's wait. Let me share my screen real quick. Right. Okay. Thank you so much for being here today. And I think we can also make this session more interactive because there's less people here. So I hope we can all ask questions. Feel free to unmute yourself as well if you have any questions to our speakers today. And also at GainForest, our colleague Satyam will also be doing a few demos today to also show to all of you what we have been working on as well on Ecocert version 2. Right, so for today's session, we're going to have two speakers. Number one, we have Diogo from AgroforestDAO, who will be telling us more on what they're doing, what have they been doing this year, if there's any specific projects or if they've attended some events as well. We really love to know. And second, we're also excited to learn the local dashboard for Taiwan's public goods hypercerts by Green Sofa Taiwan and also FabDAO. So we're super interested with this, especially because we are also working on our dashboard. So hopefully we can exchange knowledge today. So thank you to both of our speakers. Right. Perhaps I can give the spotlight to Diogo first. Diogo, are you okay to share first?
Yes, for sure. Can you hear me well, number 14?
Yes, very well.
Good, cool. So, GM, everybody. Awesome to be here. And yeah, really appreciate all the efforts that GainForest has been doing, building a space for the ones doing reforestation and going beyond saplings metrics, which I find important. Trying to understand the whole picture. That's a huge effort. Thank you. So I will start sharing. I will, yeah. So I will start sharing and tell a little bit of my story, why I'm here, why I founded AgroforestDAO. You will notice that I'm what they call mission-led founder. So basically, I would be doing this anyway. It's a life mission. It's something that I chose. I decided, me and my wife, when we left the city to move to rural Brazil in 2010. Before moving here, we took courses on permaculture and design for sustainability. And I graduated in physical therapy, and I studied in 2008. I managed to get a scholarship to study health and nature in Belgium with the Erasmus scholarship. And I came back and started doing interventions with the people with disabilities here in the rural town we moved in. So association of families, people with disabilities, I show them, let's plant not just short term, but long term, and let's experience the nature, the seasons together, and build natural wealth. This is healthy for us, for our communities. So yeah, people will just come and work. And for example, this old lady with the, problems in her arms, but she wouldn't stop, weeding and and making tea. She loves to make tea. The process of us coming to this little town uh, in 2010, we came and we started harvesting a fruit that is native from here in the palm tree, but people just don't use it. It's called acai. Uh, it's famous from the Amazon, but here in the Atlantic forest, there's also acai. So yeah, we started planting. We started building, hosting volunteers. That was so important, to connect this little. We bought a small land with the old house, got some natural materials, and started building. First, me and my wife, and then we got volunteers from Wolf Network. Maybe you know Wolf, or Workaway, which is more uh, famous and used now. But yeah, this girl was from Belgium. The guy there is from Morocco. So we suddenly started to have exchange, cultural exchange with the world. That was so meaningful for us in this isolated little place. And even for the community around, having people from other countries, Japanese and there was an Argentina that was made a lot of friends here. So we mudded walls. We built a house where we live now. And I had this realization that internet can build real stuff in the localities. We plant our first food forest, first agroforest system, and in 2011, you know, build harvest a lot of food. Now it's a forest, and yeah, the the project with the disabled got some funding from crowdfunding, and that also caught my attention. We were one of the first crowdfunding um, projects um, in the platform. So also realized that, yeah, so internet now can also fund us, provide some funding, so we can access labor. I mean, it's volunteer labor. It's people with no experience, but they do help. They offer a lot of exchanges, cultural exchange that are so important, not just the labor. It, it, I don't even see these volunteer networks as an opportunity to get labor, free labor. No, it actually more demanding. You need to care. You need to be together. You need to, you know, sometimes it's more demanding than labor. So it's a different thing, but they would come and go with no certification, with no recognition, with no reputation building, And I felt like, man, this is horrible. We need to be a global organization that, builds reputation. And the people that are dedicated to do this, they could, at least when they get old, have some support from the community. So basically, that motivated me to study more, to study tech, and see how can we build that. And then I arrived in our ecosystem with these different organizations, and there was RefiDAO back in the day. There still is, and there were Refi circles. We met with all the founders, and yeah, we all share this. All these little things need to be recognized. We are building culture, we are building knowledge, we are building capacity, and we trust, and all of this is so important for resilience. And even an organization like us that have very little funds still can do certification, can do recognition. And so hypercerts were used, but also, I've been suggesting people use pro apps for your meetups. Let's build the reputations that we need, even though we don't know what's going to happen in the future, how we're going to use that in the future. But let's do it. And yeah, so now we have AgroforestDAO. Uh, it it started here actually. Uh, there was a Planet Posit hackathon back in long time ago, April 2022. I went there with very little hopes, but it was nice because there was a lot of team building at the moment, and I found people that aligned, and we built. I had many journals, monthly journals from intervention in an area, and we made these journals NFTs, so people could buy it, and the farmer could monetize on the knowledge that he was building. So not just the product sales, but also the knowledge could also be monetized. So that gave us a small prize. We got third place, and this little prize went to made us create a multi with other team members. There were like Magenta from Bloom Network, folks from the Cosmos Network, uh, and others. And in the end, they said, Jogo, take these funds for Agroforest DAO, keep building this. I'm building Bloom. We're doing other stuff. Keep this energy going. We trust you. And yeah, that's how it starts. Uh, so I spent like second half of 23 and good time of 24 building a network. So inviting, uh, having a Telegram group, managing a Telegram group, building together, co-creating a manifesto. Okay, I'll share this link in the chat for our workspace in case anybody wants to check. Please feel free to interrupt at any moment because I'm looking at my screen here, so I'm not really watching the chat. Um, so we built a common manifesto with the help of many people. It was an open doc in our Telegram group. I, draft some lines of thought, and people just came and complemented it and enriched it. So it was. I didn't look at it for like a year. When I come back, it's like a beautiful document. So I just posted and allowed people to mint. So I posted on mirror.xyz and people can mint. So you can just come here. So we we did some learning journeys for people. We invest in marketing these learning journeys for the Brazilian crowd on Brazilian where most of Brazilian social media is like Facebook or Instagram, especially Instagram. I don't use much Instagram, so yeah, we I found important to hire someone to do this marketing, to do the visual identity and the social media management, Brazilian social media management. I'm managing the Twitter, but I can't do both. And yeah, he applied a lot of his knowledge and managed to get 70 people applying in the form for the journey, which ended with like 40. I'll just open here. Uh, 40 apprentices and quite a few uh, farms projects creating profiles in our Charmverse. Yeah, it's like 39 here. So if you go to, and they have a description of what they do. And, we created some tags, and they can update this. They can tell the story with pictures, and so it's pretty much a place where they can uh, be updating and creating storytelling for each of them. And yeah, we would like to organize, in-person meetings, also regional meetings. But yeah, it's not so easy. The last year, this year, you know, there was not so many Gitcoin rounds and grant opportunities. And, you know, as a father of two, husband that needs to keep with the family, um, it was not so easy to dedicate to build a network, as a volunteer. So I decided, for this year and next year to reduce, to put on a slow gear and focus in our pilot. Our pilot is this one, is where I plant nowadays with the partner. It's not my farm, not that one that you saw in the pictures, but it's a family farm uh, in a neighbor town called Bias Fortes. And yeah, they're there for like almost a century. And we make a planning of everything we're gonna plant there for the first 4 years, for the 10 years, and the 20 years in every level. So the low level, the medium level, the high, emergent. So for example, for the beginning, we have rice in the low level, we have sugarcane in the medium level. For example, guandu beans in the high, and as emergent, there's corn, for example. So this kind of combinations work at every stage of the forest. Okay, you can think of this low level for 20 years, it's coffee, and native berries in the medium level, and high level with abacate, and emergent with hardwood like jatoba, it's a redwood. So this is syntropic agriculture, syntropic agroforestry. We try to occupy not just the space, uh, the low space, like not making a garden bed with just lettuce. We have lettuce, but we can put some broccolis and maybe some corn without disrupting everything. And even like adding some seeds of palm tree. And so you occupy time and you plan also to occupy space. And space, you think of levels, okay? Stratas. We have created some NFTs to try to monetize selling the consortium, the long-term consortiums. For example, here, banana, açaí, jussara, and abacate. It's a nice thing to do. I like this, but it's not like a certain funding. So yeah, it's something else, just a plus. It's not something that you can count on regularly. So we have our updates uh, here since it started. It started in the spring of 2023. We made first, before starting, we created a plan for every month of the activities and then start updating. First is the planning, like I just showed you. Then like a map of where to plant. We we decided to focus the consortiums on a nuclear planting, or also called syntropic nest. It's called nest because it mimics the a nest shape, you know, like you have like a donut, you have the borders higher than the center, and that concentrates water, that makes shade at some times of the day, so it facilitates for seeds to sprout. These were all planted by seed. And then we had grains produced, like you have the line of nests over here and lines of grain and another line of nests. We made the compost and started planting. Okay, so the tractor came and tilled for the first time. It doesn't mean that we are tilling every year, but like to get over this brachyada, invasive brachyada grass is very difficult. So yeah, sometimes it's important to uh, till the soil for the first time. We together came and prepared a lot of saplings of bananas. These are Web3 people that came for this work party day. Uh, Zug from Juicebox, this is Katja from Microbiome DAO and other orgs, Shifi and other orgs. Our seedlings and saplings and seeds. So we started planting the nests on the lines, and between the lines, the grains. So here's the nest. Basically, you can see here is a little deeper. There's a stick. There is a shrub called Mexican sunflower, and it sprouts from the stick. So basically, you know, all these volunteers came for a weekend here to work. This girl, she's from Ukraine, Katya. She and Zug, they worked so much building, digging the holes, preparing the nests that, you know, they helped us so much. And other people came from São Paulo, from Rio, just to plant, you know, to be part of this. So you can see here, it's planted the grains over here in the lines of trees in these lines where we concentrate the organic matter. There's not a lot of organic matter, but year after year, we are improving the amount of organic matter, which is, as you know, carbon. So, but it's not really measured. You know, many of these carbon credits, they only measure trees. They don't measure shrubs or grasses. Okay, so you need to improve. Shrubs are so important for life. You know, birds make nests. Uh, that it's home for a lot of life. So after the weekend, we had hypercerts shared according to the work. In this column is the work and the people and what they participated. So they got fractions of the hypercerts. That was when they were just starting, you know. So I I, I was very happy to see that the marketplace for hypercerts that they were talking about since 2 years ago happened thanks to GainForest, at least for the way I see it. You know, I'm a bit ignorant, but that's how I perceive that. Here we can see the importance of consortiums. You know, combining. This one is a banana, uh, baby banana growing here. This is the stick of the sunflower, Mexican sunflower. This is the leaf. Makes a lot of shades. This is a leaf of a pumpkin, and here's the avocado was planted by seeds. It's taking advantage of all the shades to grow. Here's another. It's an inga. Here's a jackfruit growing. Okay, and that could be palm trees, that could be coffee, also were planted by seeds. So basically, we have the short term and the long term at the same place, in the same area. So this gives you a different relationship with the land. You know, conventional agriculture only thinks short term, and the relationship of the stewards with the short term uh, cultivation is totally different. You know, you start from zero every year, start back to zero, back to zero. You don't have anything compounding. But when you plant consortiums, when you polyculture, you do like this, you have compounding effect. So in the beginning, you harvest only rice. Next year, you are harvesting rice plus sugarcane. And next year, you harvest rice plus sugarcane plus bananas. And then next, all of that plus acai and so on, you know. Yeah, this is a survey of every nest. And yeah, that was 2023. We comes the dry season. We planted beans also for the hard dry season. There's no irrigation, but they take the less rains. We make a supper together, you know, during Web3 conferences because I'm very focused on using this pilot system to influence Web3 people, tech people, global community. That's why I post. That's why I'm here. You know, I could be locally or regionally you trying to, weave around this, but I find that I need to play this role of bridging the local with the global, you know, using technology. So I'm very dedicated to influence. I'm happy to see that projects like Coconut Network, Italy, the Refi Sicily, all of them talking about syntropic agriculture. And, you know, I know all of them. I know how they influence me. I influence them. And it's important to have this collective knowledge building, you know. These are seeds, the grains, it's for the consumption of the family. We were able to produce for ourselves and not depend on selling, you know. So all the families that work there, they eat the beans, they eat the rice. I'll go down to the over for now for closer. That was October. Yeah, so that was still last year. So, you know, people from government agencies for agriculture come to visit. They are not very familiar with syntropic systems. This is kind of new. You know, it started in Brazil around the 90s. So, yeah, it's very new. They are very familiar only with traditional colonized agriculture, there's monocultures and all. We bought a pump that ends up that it's not strong enough to take water up the hill, even though it says it's 70 meters, but it's not. We host schools. Schools come for experience, 1 week experience in the farm, and it's very meaningful for us. You know, it's a recognition. This is the best school in the region. You know, it's a private school in the big city near here, a Waldorf school, if you know, and anthroposophic school. And yeah, they find important to bring the kids here and to take the tools, help us managing. This is the sunflower seeds. We chop it all and feed the soil. Here's improvements on soil cover. That is so important. One day, I hope we won't see earth anymore. It will be all covered because we planted the grasses that we cut now. Yeah, you will see this is all covered with grass, and we planted now the saplings. That was last month. We made this second work party. Some of them came in the first one, and 2 years later, here they are now planting saplings. We didn't plant saplings in the first year because it's too dangerous, too risky. It's too dry. The ants will eat it. There's a big chance you will lose money. So I don't advise for this. But in the second year, we have a lot of grass producing soil cover. We have a different situation now. Now we can plant. And it's still, it's not easy, it's still. So here you can see these were cut. There's dry straw here covering the soil and the rice growing in between them. So we keep cutting this and producing biomass. These are like fertilizer factories in situ. So this is syntropic agriculture. It's so important that we uh, realize the 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 groundbreaking uh, as it is. It's so groundbreaking for agriculture to think syntropically. Okay, to think of increasing complexity in our systems and not reducing. You know, this is not entropy. Like when the first picture, when it was just Earth, that's entropy. There was a little bit of pasture. We passed the tractor and we destroyed that. There's a little bit of complexity there that we destroyed. We were entropic there. But then we started adding seeds, adding complexity, adding soil cover, increasing the amount of life. So that's syntropic. That's humans producing life. So that's our role, ecological role in the world. And the last thing I want to show, oh, not the last, but one of the last, is that now we are using Sarafo pools to create seasonal commitments. Okay, I strongly believe that you know seasonal commitments can help build trust in the farms. So here is the spring uh, commitments. All these are tasks, agricultural tasks, and we are showing that we will be creating reports in the end of spring next week about all that we did, and then we will have funds here and credits for each one of these tasks. So like, yeah, the people weeding with the hoe have some credits. People, tilling with the micro tractor, there's another, it's a more specific function. People need to be capable of doing this. So you have to have the machine. Cutting grass, you also need to have the machine. So you add value to this commitment. So, we're starting to think about all these logics of agricultural commitments, you know, for our organization within the farm, and for also be transparent and build trust. So yeah, just to end, I want to share about what we did in that connect. We we went to you know promote commoning and food through food. So basically, I'll share also this link uh, in the chat. We we uh, created rented a house together, and yeah, actually there's not many pictures here about the, and we made a bazaar together. So people, the goal was to share stuff, goods. So we wanted to govern real world assets, but from the bottom up, and in a way that is not risky to anyone. So let's just practice that. So we invited people to bring books, to bring products. Antonio from Italy brought 5 liters of olive oil. Penelope from Mendoza, from rural Argentina, she brought wine. This fella went shopping, Lejito, he went shopping in Argentina, in Buenos Aires, for quality products, for cheese, bread, and many products that were the basis of our breakfast. So we rented the Airbnb and sublocate the rooms, and included bread and breakfast. We also sold NFT for supporters, people that want to help to support the region village, uh, and people bought the NFT. So we had a common treasure, and that helped us to offer a dinner, uh, to offer workshops. We made a deep dive workshop on RevNet, and also to host the bazaar, uh, offering products, making swaps during that connect. We host the bazaar at the region hub. So I really encourage you all to read. I, I got some feedback from people also. So beyond the quantitative data, I also added qualitative analysis, something that I did in my master in Belgium, and I found it important to have both in the study. Just quantity and quality analysis, they complement each other. So yeah, here's the results, the some quotes from people around these categories that emerged from all the transcripts. This one made by audio feedback with transcripts. Uh, so stuff to think about, stuff to enrich our efforts in building this global and local, cosmo-local community. Okay, nice discussion. So yeah, that's it.
Right.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, Jago. Like, super, very, very much, very, very comprehensive as well. I feel like I was actually in the farm with all of you. And thank you so much for sharing doing local work and also at the same time being part of a global collective and, sharing knowledge and expertise. So, and I think you also mentioned about in syntropic, the idea is to add more complexity over time, and I think it's also the same with tech. Like you start with the basic thing and then you keep adding complexity, and I think like literally what we're doing right now. So thank you so much for sharing, Diego. Because of time, if you have any questions, I think you can also put in the chat box. So next we will move forward with Swift Evo from FabDAO to talk about their latest dashboard for hypercerts, specifically for Taiwan. Uh,
Yeah.
yes, feel free to share your screen.
Right. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. So, first of all, thanks GainForest arranging such a showcase, and is happy to see another really great region, village, and pop-up sharing by the others. And yeah, I always check with Coil about the green pill details things right there. And also, just I'm not sure if you are aware about that. There is localism.fund, which is supporting different kinds of geographical growth, and even there is another round for planting the tree. So maybe deep dive to look about that. If yeah, I saw that it seems we are doing the public goods, so feel free to have a look. Maybe there is some funding you which is suitable for you to go into that, because they're really good true building right there. So it is it deserves to get the supporting by the ecosystem. Yeah. So I'm Chef Evo. So I'm the co-founder of Design Asia, and as well as the participating in Greenfield Network, and as well as the stepward of the Green Sofa. Green Sofa is the local chapter of of Greenfield Network, staking in geographically we are talking about the public goods development in Taiwan. So
Sorry, why are you sharing your screen? Because we cannot see here.
yes, so
Okay.
I would like to give a really quick screen sharing about the hypercert first. So as we all know that since we have learning about hypercert more than 1 years, and we try to mean different hypercert right there, and see the development and is happy to participate Ecocerts round in G23 with one of our local public goods project focusing on the balance in between of citizens, people, with the environment of the river right there, and is happy to get the support from Ecocert to buy our hypercerts as the support. But we realized more and more that we realized that there is a user pain point for myself is that every time when I jump into hypercert, for example, I need to showcase on what we did in Taiwan. So I may need to, for example, feel free to share, search Taiwan, or oh, there is the keyword is not work here, and you need to, for example, you need to click all hypersearch because there is a filter for evaluate the hypersearch first, and then the result is only free. So actually we are more than that, and this is a really critical thing because hypersearch already built a very good bridging in between with public goods funding and the impact measurement. But what is the next ring? Is that, for example, Diego is completely no familiar with Green Sofa and what Taiwan is doing. When we ask for Diego supporting for Green Sofa, so all he need to do is, first of all, he need to learn about hypersearch. He need to key in the keyword, and then he need to understand how to search about what we did through the hypersearch website. So after a few months, 6 months discussion about that, and we create a dashboard. It calls Taiwan hypersearch dashboards. We hope that this is one of the sandbox, which is the thing is not only connecting, filling the gap of showcase from public goods funding, impact measurement, curation, and you can see the act, track the fact by the third parties, by the international, and the local public goods builder didn't need to put 50% of their working time to shout out to the world and repeat it again, and again, because we are doing, which is very similar things right there for all different organizations. So how about we make the curation point? So right there, so everyone can, for example, when you jump into, for example, when we jump into the Twitter space, and then we can put the link right here. Is for example, you can track what we are doing for all over crossovers the Taiwan different communities and public goods, what they are doing. And then when you click the website about the Taiwan hypersearch dashboard, so you will have a very clear summary about how many projects and how many participants and how many funding we are allocated to the local. This is the funding that we allocate to support the local public goods project. And of course, the contact point is Green Sofa. So we are trying to building the Green Sofa branding, connecting the international. So we participate different platform, and we are fully get the guidance, supporting and skill set, or even the connection networking by Greenfield Network, which is really good one, and help us to grow. And while at the same time, when the international understand that, oh, there is a Green Sofa, so when I need to check about Taiwan, what is Taiwan is doing, so I go to Green Sofa Twitter, and then there is a place you can see the impact measurement, which is already did really good by hypersearch. So when you look, when you have use a mouse, and then you scroll, and you will see the project we would like to feature. So we feature some really good and signature project working in Taiwan at this moment, and then we link out all the other hypercerts which is already created, but the local builders they take a very long studying curve on from how to set up a wallet, how to manage what is hypercert, how important about the on-chain reputation and the impact measurement, and then they create their hypercert. So there is the last steps that the world can see what they did, because without that without the hypercert dashboard, and when we jump into here, so we will lose, especially for example in the Diago's presentation that he need to screen cap and then get the link on that specific hypercert, right? But actually there are more than that. You have 20 hypercert right there, which is already make the really good achievement. So the last ring or the last step is that we make a sandbox, which is geographical focus hypercert dashboard. So we take Taiwan as what we trial right there. So this is the whole idea on why we build Taiwan hypercert dashboard. And of course, for more detail is that this is on-chain. So which means that when we jump into OpenSea, suppose some of the hypercert, all the hypercert, it should be reviewed by OpenSea NFT market, but actually it didn't work out at some time. So therefore, we also solve that problem. And more important behind is about the concept of decentralized. We aim that this is a first step, but more and more. For example, we already have our bigger brother of Ecocertain right there. They already built a really good one category focusing on environmental and eco protection for the special category of the hypercert. And we are doing the geographical focusing hypercert dashboard. And if it kick off the flywheel, so more and more community can take the reference of our GitHub on what we are doing, and then feel free to take the reference about how we make the hypercert, and then yeah, it is open source. So there is of course in the long run more and more community they aim to do their own dashboard for the hypercert, and it is really good because as we all know that the data is storing it through the Falcon, IPFS, and if more and more decentralized storage about the data is more helpful to support the whole public goods ecosystem development. And of course, this is a more in-depth sharing about why we aim to build such a platform right there. Right, so since I already mixed the PowerPoint, so I have to do some do some presentations that make me feel that I'm making something. Right. The slogan is that see the act, track the fact. So we building the transparent, variable infrastructure for Taiwan public goods ecosystem through the on-chain impact tracking. Yeah, there are so many platforms to be integrated. The challenge, of course, already have some showcase. For example, the limited review capability and the fragment of impact data. So we can't find the exact hypercert right there. So, and of course, there is no Asian case study about that. So we go for it. And of course, it is the perfect sandbox, which we use Taiwan as the trial because the ecosystem is quite unique. And as you saw that as you saw, we already have the very big one, Fab DAO, which is a formal DAO, the biggest for the public goods development in Taiwan. As well as we have some grassroots civic tech, which is called Government Zero Taiwan, and for the civic tech, and as well as uh, the the funding the common or Ethereum. They also host the international symposium in Taiwan, and everyone will have adapt on what we are what is the culture or spirit. So therefore, we hope to utilize the different hypercerts together and make this dashboard. So what is FabDAO? Actually, FabDAO is Formosa Art Bank. Actually, is developing when NFT is really hot 3 years before. But we are focusing on the art. We are not focusing on the pricing. So right now, FabDAO is also collecting different art, NFT art by our treasury to support the real artists making the NFT at this moment for different purpose of public goods. As you know, the art is a very powerful tool to keep the record of a big event or the spirit or the culture right there. And Hypercert Dashboard is one of the sub-team under FabDAO, and as well as Green Sofa. So Green Sofa, which is also the local chapter under Green Prio, as well as which is the some slide. FabDAO is our father, and Green Prio Network is our mother. So we are in between with connecting the world and the local. That's how we aim to do the Ethereum localism through the Green Sofa and participate different Gitcoin grants, different public goods grants right outside the world. For example, the Give If, and we try to apply the Octane, and we submit the application on Artisan, and we look for the funding from Greenpeace Network and other region coordination and different places right there, and then we bring the resources back to support the local Taiwan builders because it needs a lot of time. Yeah, as a GainForest already know about it. We already have a very similar experience as well as Diogo. So the studying curve is very long to how to participate, how to apply, and how to keep update with ourselves. And we hope that we can save that administration time and studying curve for the local builders and organization. So here's our team. Is the book builder, so Lilian is designer, and Kay is our project manager, and Stanley and I are the evaluator for the Taiwan Hypersearch Dashboard project. And first of all, we got funding from FabDAO, and a few weeks before, we are so happy to participate in a Gitcoin granted for the public goods tuning R&D round and get recognized by different NFT holder through the Allo Capital, and we are eligible to get the $2,000 supporting what we did, and it will be the first steps we got the recognition is that something we are doing is worth and is what other people think that is really needed. So of course, why Hypercert? Because after the public goods funding, we all know that as AI is growing bigger and bigger and stronger, so we need some on-chain impact measurement and verification. So therefore, hypercert is one kind of tool that to uh, to link with public goods, funding allocation, and the impact measurement. So that's why we choose hypercert out as our first step. Yeah, thank you. So what we built is that through different tools, for example, Figma, for example, Gemini, and then save a lot of admin time, and then final review and improvement by our co-builders, Duncan, and as well as the designer, Lillian. And of course, in the future, we look for the full on-chain estate station solution, for example, EAS, and helping other community to build their own dashboard locally. And that's why we hope to connect the local to global through this hyperset dashboard. And of course, in the long run, we aim to, for example, right now we are onboarding the different community, local community, and in the long run, we aim to expand. For example, about the endorsement or divulge through our Karma Gap or Garden Fund, and that's what we aim to. Of course, there is a lot of deliverable in last quarter of this year, and of course in the coming year. So feel free to join the movement and have a chat about our website, GitHub, and follow us on Twitter and ask me any questions. And last but not least is I would like to share the link is the Green Sofa story, which is by the Ethereum localism. And that's the amazing article right there, and really happy to got the Ethereum localism support to write about our Green Sofa story. Yeah. Can I can I meet that 3 minutes?
Yes, yes. Thank you so much, Ivo. This is like super, super great. If you can also send the links in the big group. I think a lot of people who are not here can also read these. Like super, it really trying to localize it and also onboard new people from your own locality. So thank you so much for sharing, Ivo. Right, thank you
Sure.
so much. Before we end this session, I just like to invite Satyam from our team to also just do a quick demo on the current version of Ecocertain. Of course, it's not done yet. We are also in the process. So yeah, Satyam, to you.
Hello, everyone. I'm Satyam. I am a front end and full stack developer at GainForest. I'm the one responsible for building Ecocertain and Green Globe. I hope you know about the platforms. We are actually building a better version of Ecocertain and Green Globe. This time now merged, so you can manage everything at one place and do one thing on one platform, and it also seamlessly like shows up on the other platform as well. So we are right now integrating the two platforms and making your lives easier. So I'll share my screen to show what we've been building. We've been working with hypercerts team, and also with our own with our own engineering things to to get the best out of both the worlds. So I'll show you this new version of Ecocertain. uh I would like to go to the home page. Things would load a bit slower here because I'm on a development thing. Like, this is not actually a website, but I'm developing this on my local machine, so things might be slow. For to start with, I would sign out my account, and I would maybe show you how you would be like signing in. So you would first need to have an account, and that part would be done using an invite code. You would provide your email to us, and we would send you an invite code, and you would fill up this form and just sign up. And then once you're signed up, you can continue to sign in. I would sign in with my test account. Yep, I'm signed in. So this is the homepage, the new homepage. It gives you a clear view of uh, it just gives you a clear view of what you should do if depending on what your role is. Like if I want to support a project, I can click explore ecocerts. If I'm an organization, I can go ahead and set up my organization and create an ecocert. And some FAQs and things that are necessary for newcomers and beginners to know about the platform. And then I'll go ahead with the my organization page. This is something new that we've been building. So generally green globe is the page where organization is displayed, but we are now also bringing that up in Ecocertain. So you can set up an organization, you can create your green globe and Ecocertain profile at once. And yeah, this is sort of a unified thing now. And so when you create an ecocert, it would be registered under this organization, so that we can also show that on the green globe platform as well. This brings in more funding from the maybe from the viewers of not viewers but users of green globe. Yep, so this is some random information filled in, so uh, don't look at it. I can hopefully I can just click manage organization button here, and I can change any of the data that I want. Um, Disclaimer: anything might break because it's in beta, so I'm sorry if anything breaks. I can just click this edit button now. You can see that the sidebar has changed. Earlier, the sidebar was Ecocertain, and now when I am on this page, the sidebar has changed to upload. And you can also see that the sidebar options have changed, so you can easily manage your projects, sites, layers, ecocerts, everything. These four pages are not done yet, but we are on the organization page yet. So let's try editing some stuff out. Say organization name to community call demo, and I would like to add a logo. Say um, mm, 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 say this one. Done. And I would save it. This feels much better as a cover image, so I would upload that as a cover image as well. Background done. Yep, let's try saving it and if see that if it works. I hope it works fine. Uh, uh, okay, there's something definitely wrong here. Okay, I think it works. It works. Yeah. So yeah, you can also add new sites in here. So I have had it 4 sites in here, and your eco search would also appear here once you create them. Let me also show you the EcoCert form. We have updated the EcoCert form to connect more, to connect better with you, and so that you know, like, um, each and everything that you're filling, and you get a better idea about what you're up to. This is a bug. I'll fix this thing uh, down at the very bottom. I can yeah, I can fix it. I was just working on it. So to start a new application, you can click this button, and if you have an incomplete ecocerts which that you have filled partially, you can save your progress and come back later to complete them off. This feature was not in the older version of Ecocertain, but we are bringing that in. For now, there's I can see there's only one option, which is start a new application, and everything is now divided into steps, like step one, step two, step three, and four and five as well. You can go into any of these steps at any time and fill in the info. For example, I would just fill in some something. Okay, this might be breaking. Yeah, it's not working. I'll fix this one. And the basic idea is that on each and every step you click continue, fill that information, continue, and select the sites that you want to add for that particular for this particular ecocert. You can also add new sites. Yep, you can also add new sites, and once you're done adding new sites, you complete the permissions and continue. Now, this is a step where you get all the errors if there are any fields that are invalid or you've not filled out any of the fields in the previous steps. And this is the point where you fix them all. And once you've fixed them all, you can get a preview of your EcoCert, and hopefully the continue button enables and you go to the final step where you can actually, you know, create your EcoCert, your first EcoCert on Ecocertain platform. I guess that was it. One last thing. Now we have a feature to draw sites within this app itself. So I will click manage organization. Knock knock. I'll wait it to load. Yeah. So now I can when I click add a new site, there's an option to draw a site, and when I do, there's a brush icon up here. I click it and I can click and draw a new site. And once I'm done, I can just click this check icon and done. And then I would have to give a name for the site, say test. This thing might break again, but yeah, it works. Yep, so a new site's been added here, test. And the areas, since I selected a very large area, the area is too much, and the center point of the area is also mentioned here, latitudes and longitudes. I guess that's it, and that's all I can show right now.
Right. Thank you so much, Satyam. Great. Also ending this whole community call, and I think we have a very common theme today, which is like hypercerts. So everyone's also sharing um, their experience with hypercerts. So cool. Thank you so much. This has been great, especially like knowledge sharing between different people using the same technology. And I'm super grateful to also know what all of you are doing locally. So yeah, thank you so much. I think this is going to be our final session for this year, and I hope to see you next year. Happy holidays to everybody, and also happy New Year. Thank you. Bye bye. I'll see you next month.
Bye bye. See you next
Ciao.
year.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.